is Jakob Rasmussen, and I come from a company called Citymart.com, and we're trying to solve the big challenges in cities. And that can be a long walk, but today I'm going to give you some ideas about, give you a little insight into how we actually do that and why we're doing this. That's an awful long time it takes to kind of get to the end, huh? So basically, in 2040, 70% of all people in the world will live in cities. So it's a massive challenge, and cities also have massive challenges. They have loads of problems, and I'm going to give you some ideas about what these problems are, and also to an extent, you know, how we might actually try to solve this, and especially how we are trying to solve this. So, for example, poverty. Poverty is a massive problem. The image here is from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, where you have amazing luxury flats being next to the favelas where people are living in poverty. And Rio de Janeiro is actually one of the cities that have tried to combat this on a large scale, and this can be done in other places as well. Health is a massive problem. You know, we've had outbreaks of diseases where you had to kind of get the public sector to respond to it. And we also have a lot of challenges in our daily lives where health is actually a major problem and are incurring significant cost to society. Congestion is another challenge. I don't think you can find a city out there today of a certain size that don't have some sort of congestion problems. And how do we actually solve that, and how do we solve the other problems linked to that, such as pollution? You can name your own challenge. You know, you can go out into the cities around you. You can go into Copenhagen and you can say, look, you know, Copenhagen, what challenges do they have, and how can we actually solve them, and what impact will that have on society? And especially the impact part is interesting. $4.5 billion at least is what is spent by governments today. And about 50% of those spendings are actually wasted. And this is of course a massive opportunity to change that. And that's what we're trying to do. So if we look at some of the numbers, 90% of cities don't publish their challenges. Meaning if you're an innovative company and you want to solve major challenges in cities, you have no idea where to start. 90% of cities do not have a process to handle ideas that come from the outside. Meaning that if you come with a great solution or a great idea, there will actually be no one that can really handle that, that can really take that into the procurement system and change. And this is a massive challenge. Most cities don't consider solutions from outside of their own country. You know, imagine if this was when you were purchasing a laptop or purchasing a mobile phone, if you actually didn't look at solutions that came from outside of Denmark or wherever country you are in. This would be a kind of massive problem for the market. And most cities are not allowed to talk to solution providers before they buy. Meaning that if you have a great idea and you come and say, look, you should consider buying this, you know, this will change society. Say, look, at the moment you speak to us, we cannot procure anymore. We're giving you an unfair advantage. What does this mean? Well, first of all, it means that solutions take a long time to implement. We've measured at least 6 times as long to get them into society as they could be, and they become very expensive, sometimes up to 20 times the cost that are actually needed to buy perhaps a more innovative solution. Now this woman I have here, she's blind. She has 3 routes she can walk, and that was one of the most amazing solutions in the US for blind people. Now this man here, he's also blind. He can walk the entire city. And in this case, Stockholm doesn't have to pay 3 million euros to implement a solution for him. They can actually implement a solution that gives them an economic benefit of 17 million euros. So we are completely trying to turn this on its head. If we try to break down some of the numbers, just in the case of this solution, we see that there are a number of benefits of implementing more innovative solutions in cities, such as benefits to the local economy, benefits to the visually impaired themselves, benefits to relatives, and so on. And now the interesting part, and what we are trying to do, is to say, why don't we scale them up? Because one thing is Stockholm with kind of 7,000 visually impaired citizens, but if we take this to Tokyo, or if we take this to New York, suddenly the savings are massive, and we're actually talking changes that can impact the economy. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we help cities name their challenges. We help cities get out and say, look, these are our challenges. This particular challenge is from Lagos in Nigeria, about actually reinvigorating their movie-making industry to make this profitable. And then what do we do? Well, we go to solution providers around the world and say, look, you might have something here that a city somewhere else in the world needs. And this will give them sometimes a first or sometimes a major contract that they can then carry on with. And then the third step in what we're doing is that we are actually taking solutions and cities and bringing them together and implementing them. And these are some of the images for all of the solutions that have been accepted by cities and implemented outside of their own country. So that's Citymart for you, and we hope we can work together to solve some of the challenges in society. Thank you very much.